Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth. I want to talk about real quick. The first thing is this situation involving Kim Kardashian. A few days ago, I think it was like a week ago or so, she met with President Donald Trump to request a commutation of a sentence for the woman, this African American woman named Alice Johnson, an older woman in her 60s who was sentenced to 21 years in prison. Shout out to the real Aaron Collins. So yeah, I just want to let me just start over real quick. So there are a couple of things that I want to talk about. The first thing is involving Kim Kardashian going to the White House. She went to the White House to ask Donald Trump to grant a commutation of this woman's sentence, this African American woman named Alice Johnson, who was sentenced to life for a conspiracy to possess cocaine and an attempt to possess cocaine, a life sentence for drugs. I mean, just the thought of that just sounds outrageous. This isn't a woman who killed somebody. This isn't a woman who committed some heinous crime. This is a woman who was accused of participating in a conspiracy to possess cocaine, and she got a life sentence. So Kim Kardashian went to the White House to ask that her sentence be commuted, and Donald Trump recently commuted this sister's sentence, and she is now free after serving 21 years in jail for this crime. And I just wanted to take some time to talk about this. I cannot say anything bad about Donald Trump deciding to commute this woman's sentence. I think that that's a great thing. It is a good thing. And, I don't have anything bad to say about Kim Kardashian for pressing this issue. The only thing that I'll say is this it's not enough. There are plenty of nonviolent offenders who are locked away for years based on some drug charges. And this is a part of that whole problem that Michelle Alexander has talked about, the problem of mass incarceration, the problem of the new Jim Crow, where you got all these black people locked up for nonviolent drug offenses. So this is not nearly enough. And I was on Facebook and I saw that someone had said that this is making Obama look bad, like Obama never did this kind of stuff for black people, and Donald Trump is making this great gesture for black people. First of all, it's nothing, man. I mean, in the big scheme of things, while it's very important for that individual woman, Alice Johnson, to be free after serving 21 years, in the big scheme of things, that's a drop in the bucket, given the fact that you have all of these nonviolent offenders locked up. And then the fact that they want to like use this as an opportunity to basically dismiss or discredit Obama. I mean, this person obviously was uninformed because when you look at Obama's record, he commuted the sentences for over 300 people who were nonviolent drug offenders. So when you compare that to what Donald Trump has done so far, I mean, Donald Trump is not that far into his presidency, but one person is not nearly enough. And one of the things that I'm really concerned about is that I think that this is probably just an issue where he's favoring a celebrity. If this was a regular person asking for this sentence to be commuted, it's unlikely that he would have commuted the sentence. you know so that's one thing. And then and I'm just kind of disturbed that some people will run with this. They will take this little token gesture as some sign that Trump cares about black people when everything in his record proves otherwise. When this is just a situation where he's trying to, win over some celebrities and get some public support and all that kind of stuff. And I'll get to your comments in a second, but I think that that's what it's all about, man. Just this man favoring celebrities, making some kind of token gesture so that he can rise in the polls and all that kind of stuff. Because at the end of the day, this does nothing to fight the problem of mass incarceration in black communities. At the end of the day, this is symbolic, this is a gesture, this is tokenism, but it's good for that woman as an individual. And I will say this, it is great to see a celebrity actually use their position for something positive. You know, regardless of the race of the celebrity, that's a great thing when you have celebrities use their platform to press important issues. And I think that we need more of that. More of that from not just these white celebrities. We need black celebrities to be pushing these issues. Why aren't more black celebrities calling for sentences to be commuted, calling for changes in the criminal justice system? And I think that with a Meek Mill, he's somebody that's in a position to do something like this, to advocate for these nonviolent offenders, to advocate for reforms and sentencing reforms. Peace to everybody checking in. I'm going to get to your comments in a second. But, somebody like a Meek Mill, they're in a position to be a voice for a change. And, I just hope that more people that are celebrities would do things like this to make a difference in society. And I'm just wondering if this whole Kanye West thing, if all this cooning that he's been doing has paid off, in this kind of way, because this guy is praising Donald Trump, wearing the Make America Great hats, and talking about how Donald Trump's all this and all that, and talking about how much he supports him and loves him and this and that. I'm wondering if all that cooning paid off, man. If that's part of the reason why Donald Trump, um, commuted this woman's sentence. And I think that it probably did play a role because Kim Kardashian supported Clinton during the campaign, um, while this guy Kanye West has been cooning it up big time. So, I just hope that people don't take this as some kind of sign that all of a sudden Donald Trump cares about black people. Because Donald Trump has made it clear that he doesn't care about black people. When you look at his position on police reform and police brutality, this man, through his spokespeople, has said that basically he said that police brutality is some local matter that shouldn't be some kind of focus of the federal government. This man has dismissed the effectiveness of consent decrees with police departments. This man has basically encouraged police to rough up minority suspects. So, this man doesn't care about black people. I mean, this man is cutting social benefits that disproportionately benefit black people, benefits like food stamps, benefits like Section 8. So this man obviously doesn't care about black people. This is a man who condoned his supporters to attack black protesters during these Trump rallies. This is a man who's gone after, affirmative action. He's planned to use the Justice Department against affirmative action. So don't get it twisted. Just because this man commuted one single black woman's sentence doesn't mean that he all of a sudden cares about black people. If I was if I was president of the United States, I would commute all these nonviolent drug offenders' sentences. If I was president, I would free all black political prisoners, all those members of the Black Panther Liberation Army, all those soldiers who put in that work for black people who are in jail under the Jim Crow, under the COINTEL program. It might as well be the Jim Crow program, the COINTEL program, a plan to suppress black leaders, to wipe out the black movement. So if I was in power, man, I would free all those black political prisoners, and I would pardon Assata Shakur. So this is something positive. The fact that he commuted this woman's sentence, but there's far much more that could have been done. There's more that needs to be done, and I just hope that these black celebrities really press forward and advocate for social justice issues, whether we're talking about police brutality or we're talking about mass incarceration. Those things are very important. Now, the last thing I want to get to is this Mesa Police Department and that incident of police brutality. I did a prior video about that situation. I will post a link in the cards when I get a chance to. But here you had a situation where this brother didn't pose a threat to these police. He wasn't attacking the police. He did not have any weapon on him. But the police proceeded to beat this brother severely, punch him multiple times, to the point where he slumps and he falls to the floor. And you actually have one of these police officers kneeing this man, treating him like an animal. And when I looked at the video, I looked at it on my cell phone and I assumed that the police officers involved were white, and some of them were white. And I assumed that the person that was, putting in the most work, punching this brother the most times, I assumed that that was a white man, because I was looking at it on my phone, glancing at it. But then upon further examination this morning, when I put it on my computer and I zoomed in on the image, the man that's throwing the most punches is a black man. It's a black man punching this other black man, punching him multiple times. And as I saw that, I thought about the song F the Police by NWA, where they say black police showing out for the white cop. And I thought about the overseer on the plantation. I thought about the Negro that they given a position of power, and that Negro uses that position of power against his own people. Like in the movie Roots, the original Roots. It's not a white man striking Kunta Kinte, it's a black man hitting Kunta Kinte with the whip. While the white slave master, merely shakes his head to give that black man the order to strike his black brother. But here you have Negroes that are so eager to coon, so eager to tap dance, so eager to serve their master that they don't even need an order to attack their brother. They are the natural attack dog for the white man. So here you have a black man beating this brother like this, hitting him multiple times. And it's just crazy, man. Here we are. We demand that we have more representation in these police departments. We demand that we have police that look like us, that serve the black community, because we assume that they will have some kind of compassion for black people. And it turns out that too often, these black people who are in these positions of authority, instead of speaking out against police brutality, they are often participating in police brutality. And here you have this Negro, this Sambo, playing the lead role in the brutality against his own people, beating his brother severely, man. And something has to be done about this stuff, man. We have to do something about this, man. I hope that this man is sentenced, not only fired, but I hope that he's sentenced for this crime, man. And I hope that that brother and his attorney sue the hell out of that police department and out of that city, because this police department has a history of using excessive force, as I mentioned in my last video, where they beat up a grandmother, where they shot this unarmed man who was complying with the police instructions, gunned that man down. And it's just outrageous, man. The coon is our biggest enemy, man. The coon infiltrates the black community, rats out the black community. And then, some of these coons, they serve as mouthpieces for white supremacy. And when they're not serving as mouthpieces for white supremacy, they are serving as foot soldiers for white supremacy. This is a prime example of that. Got this brother beating the hell out of his own brother, man. And that reminds me of that song by Public Enemy, where they say every brother ain't a brother. And they say a black hand squeezed on Malcolm X the man that's shooting a Huey Newton. It's just crazy, man. It's just really insane that this would happen in this day and age, man. So I'm going to go through your comments real quick. Again, shout out to real Aaron Collins. Yeah, real Aaron Collins pointed out how it was a black cop with him. Exactly. Somebody, Lamar Wills said that blacks are our own worst enemy. Some of them are, man. Some black people are enemies of the black community, but we are not our own worst enemy. I don't agree with that. We didn't kidnap ourselves. I mean, of course, you had Africans who participated in the slave trade, but it was the white man that kidnapped us and brought us here, enslaved us for hundreds of years, put us on slave ships, millions, over 1 million people died during the Middle Passage. The white man did that. The white man subjected us to Jim Crow, and humiliation and segregation and all that. The white man did that. The white man set up this system of mass incarceration that we see in our communities. So that's not to downplay the role of these puppets in our community or these people that are negative forces in our community, but we should never ever say that black people are our own worst enemy when it's the damn white man that put us in this situation. He's the one that enslaved us for hundreds of years, without any compensation, beat us and raped us and lynched us and castrated us. The white man is our worst enemy, man, in the big scheme of things when you look at history. And somebody said that black officer needs to be fired immediately. Exactly, he does need to be fired immediately. So y'all just bear with me. I'm scrolling through these comments. Somebody said that those are the ones that get picked on in high school, these officers that act out and brutalize people. And I think that what happens is, these people, I think a lot of these police have, just aggressive tendencies. A lot of these people are inherently violent. And what they use the police for is like an outlet for that rage and that anger and hostility and aggression and violence. And the sad thing is they have a badge. It's like these people operate with authority because they have a badge. They are like thugs with a badge. They are like a gang with a badge. And that gives them a license to kill black people, to brutalize black people, man. Yeah, exactly. These cops are on a power trip, man. A lot of these people, they get off by the power that they have. They get off by being able to yell at somebody and tell people what to do and threaten people. A lot of these people are egomaniacs and they do have a power trip. So I think that that's a valid point. Second. Somebody said a cop ran a black kid over, got fired, and hired in the same week. Wow. Shout out to my sister. Shout out to you. Peace and blessings to you. Yeah, so somebody said that they're ashamed of being black, or they feel ashamed of being black. And I think that they're talking about because of the fact that his police officer was black. I mean, we should never be ashamed of being black, man. Never. Given the history that we have, of the history of excellence, the history of being the founders of civilization, the history of overcoming the oppression that we have faced, being the most beautiful people on the planet, we should never be ashamed of ourselves, man. Wow, this guy said, I wish my kids weren't black. Man, you must be trolling. Must be trolling, man. But anyway, I didn't want to keep y'all too long. I just wanted to get on here for a second while I'm waiting for my daughter. But yeah, I mean, for the people who aren't watching live, tell me what y'all think in the comment section. Tell me what you think about Kim Kardashian, man. I know a lot of people gonna think she earned some cool points by, helping to commute this sentence, and that's a positive thing, man. I can't knock that, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of these brothers don't go crazy and start calling her an African queen. Man, I just wish we had some sisters doing something similar, man. And I'm sure that there are plenty of sisters that are doing stuff like that, but like I'm talking about these celebrities, man. You know, you would think that somebody like all these Negroes that surround Donald Trump, you would think that they would be advocating for, for sentences to be commuted, for people to be freed from the criminal justice system. But I doubt that they're doing that. I doubt that they're pushing that. And again, I want to hear your opinions about this coon police officer beating his own black brother like that, man. I mean, it's absolutely outrageous, man. It's like you don't even need white oppressors when you have these black oppressors that are eager to play the role of the Negro puppet. Eager to play the role like that movie Django. Like that character in Django called Steven. His that Steven guy who was eager to serve his master. I mean, and when his master got shot, he damn near had a conniption, man. He damn near lost his mind, crying and carrying on, hugging his master. That guy was like oppressing his own people. And that's how a lot of these black cops are, man. And it's a shame. You would think that if you're in that position of power, you would use that power to stop police brutality, to speak out against it, to condemn it. Yeah, Def the Rocker. They play the Uncle Ruckus role, man. And you see people like this on YouTube too, man. These Uncle Ruckuses. They don't have the heart to speak out against police brutality. Instead, they love to bash the black woman. I mean, it's a shame, man. But anyway, tell me what y'all think. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And I see somebody saying, please block Lamar. Yeah, if I knew how to do it on this phone, since I'm doing it from my phone, I don't know how to how to do it. I'm gonna have to get up to speed on that. But yeah, that person is obviously trolling. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a white guy or not. If that was a white guy. Well, anyway, peace and blessings, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Shout out to is that really L.A. or is that somebody trolling as L.A.? Well, anyway, peace, y'all.